Hi! Do you know what a reverse image stamp is? Well, that's the type of stamps you get with the Stampin' Up! Exclusive Sale-a-bration reverse word stamp set. Now, some of my stampers were a bit confused on how a reverse image stamp works. Well, I'm excited to show you how as I demonstrate a card using one of these reverse image stamps. I'm so glad you're joining me today. Welcome to StampingSmiles.com. I'm Shelley Godby, the owner and CEO of Stamping Smiles, and for 16 years I've been teaching others how to create their own hand-stamped smiles. A reverse image is one of my favorite looks. Here's a closer view of the reverse word stamp set. I just love how it's watercolored around the greeting. Reverse words is just one of the exclusive 2017 Stampin' Up! Sale-a-bration items. You get your choice of one of the Sale-a-bration items absolutely for free with every $50 in product purchases placed in my online store, www.shopwithshelley.com. But you only have through March 31st, 2017 before the Sale-a-bration special ends. All right, so this is different. So normally what we think of when we stamp a greeting, that the greeting would be in the color of ink that we chose. Well, it's just the opposite of this. The greeting will be in the color of our cardstock. So let me show you. I've got some Flirty Flamingo cardstock here. And I'm going to do some embossing. And before I do any embossing, I grab my Embossing Buddy. I'm going to rub this all over, because I want the powder to stick only to the ink and not my fingerprints that may be on there, the oil that's in them. So that's going to eliminate a lot, if not all of it. So then I've got my Cheers stamp. So reverse words is available in wood mount or clear mount. My choice is clear mount. And then I need an ink, and a pigment ink is really best. And a VersaMark ink, it's a pigment, and so it's a thicker ink, and it's permanent, and it stays moist for a good while. So I'm going to just give this a really good inking. All right, and you can see how the words are etched into there. It's just cut pretty deep. They're not going to take any ink. It's going to be all that watercolor around it. So I'm going to stamp this a little bit askew, and because it's a solid stamp, I'm going to hold it down a little bit extra long. All right, make sure I've got some really good ink coverage. And then when I take it off, look at that. All right, so now you can see it, because it's such a solid image, how it's called a watermark. It makes the cardstock a shade or two darker. So I'm going to emboss with the white Stampin' Emboss powder. Let's go ahead and sprinkle this on. This is actually my favorite part of embossing. When I sprinkle the powder on and then tap it off and it sticks, I just think that is so cool. All right, so now we need to melt that embossing powder. So I have the heat tool. The first setting is for drying ink. Say, well, if you did use a pigment ink and you want to dry it quicker, or even sometimes a dye pad. All right, so that's the first one, just for drying ink. The second one is for melting the embossing powder. So let's go ahead and put this on here and just hold it in place. And it's going to go from powdery to shiny. It just takes a little bit, there we go, to heat up the cardstock, and then it goes really quickly. And so as soon as you see it melt, go ahead and move on, because you could burn your cardstock. It's a good intense heat. There we go. Oh, fantastic. We got it all. All right, so I go ahead and look in the light, and if I see something that's powdery, you can go back and put more heat on and finish melting it. So there we go. The Cheers is the color, the Flirty Flamingo, and then we've got the color all around it. And so that's a reverse image. We're going to do some die cutting for my reverse words card. So I've got my Big Shot die cutting machine and the magnetic platform. The magnetic platform is an additional purchase, but one I highly recommend if you're going to use the thin metal Framelits dies. You're going to see why in just a moment. So we have to build our sandwich. So we're going to start with the magnetic platform, and then a cutting pad, and then our cardstock. I have old Olive Cardstock here, and I'll have all the measurements for my reverse words card. You'll find a link under the video. Then I have the layering ovals Framelits dies, and I want this one. Oops, there we go, just that one. And you hear that? When you hear that, yeah, we got the metal attracted to the magnets, and so then it's going to hold in place. So I want that centered on there. I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. So then the rest of our sandwich is another cutting pad. So we'll just go ahead and crank this right through. And I just love my Big Shot. I didn't have to sit there and hand cut that hole. So we're going to change sandwich and we're going to cut some flowers. I'm going to use this flower die from the Succulent Framelits dies. These are from the 2017 Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog. And like I said, our sandwich is going to change. So I still have my Big Shot die cutting machine, but this time instead I'm using the Big Shot platform. And because I'm using a thin metal die, I need the thin die adapter with the Big Shot platform. Both of these come with the purchase of a Big Shot. So now this time, instead of the cutting pad, I'm going to use the precision base plate. This is also an additional purchase, but again, one I recommend when you're using the thin, intricate dies. And so the writing side goes down. This replaces the bottom cutting pad, that acrylic pad. So then next we need our cardstock, and then our die. The raised edge, that's the cutting edge, that goes down. Now I did try this also with a cutting pad instead of the precision base plate. It just came out, the cardstock came out of the die easier with the precision base plate. So that's why I'm using it instead. You could get away with just the platform. So let's go ahead and crank this through. All right, and so whenever I have a die like this, I like to just reverse and do it a second time. And that's 3,000 pounds of pressure it puts down, and it just helps it come out easier. So it's going to come out of this. Look how it just pops right out of here. Getting it out of the die, I have my paper piercing tool, and so you see the holes in here. This is so you can just poke and get it going. Not terribly hard. And it came out of the die a lot easier with that precision base plate. Okay, so I got that going. Let's just gently pull on this. And there we go. We've got a Flirty Flamingo flower. So I need 2 more of these. So I'll do those, and then we'll put the card together. So I have my 3 die cut flowers. We've got Flirty Flamingo, Pool Party, and So Saffron. And my card base is So Saffron. And then I have a strip here of Pool Party cardstock. So we need to attach that. So I'm going to use the Fast Fuse adhesive. All right, let's go along. There we go. And a very good strong adhesive. We're going to go edge to edge, not quite in the center, a little bit up. All right, that's looking good. Liking that. Fantastic. All right, and so then we have the cheers that we embossed. Let's go ahead and use some more Fast Fuse adhesive. Okay, looking oh so good. Now this, let's go ahead and put this straight. All right, and centered. Oh, looking good, good, good. Now remember the piece of old olive that we cut? There we go. Well, the cheers is going to peek through, and we're just going to put that at a bit of an angle. So some more Fast Fuse adhesive. All right, and we got these springy colors. Isn't this fun though? All right, look at that. Looking oh so good. Fantastic. And then I have some of the Pool Party stitched ribbon. I just love how Stampin' Up's products coordinate. The inks and the cardstock and the accessories just make it so easy to put together an attractive card that's pleasing to the eye. All right, let's go ahead. And I'm just going to tie a knot. Okay. I like to work off the spool. I tend to not waste as much. Right, hold my finger here, and let's go ahead and knot this. Boy, this is such pretty ribbon. It's the softness of it, it does feel like satin. There we go. So let's go ahead and trim our tails. I'm going to cut those at an angle, like that look, and right over here. Fantastic. Look, it's coming together. And so now for the finishing touch, our flowers. So this time I'm going to go ahead and use mini glue dots. It's going to make life easier. So this is just the holder for them. Go ahead and take them out and peel them back till you can see one of these super sticky dots in the light. And I want to start with the Pool Party and put one right in the center. There we go. So press down on that. I'm trying not to touch the glue dot because that'll take away from the extreme stickiness. Let me just set that for right now. I'm not going to press until I'm happy with my placement. Let's do our next one, the Soul Saffron, right in the center. Here we go. Okay, how about right about there? And one more. There we go. Aha. Let's see what we think. You know what? I really wish all that were down a little bit. See, that's why I don't press anything until I'm happy. So I just want to move everything down just a little bit because I really wanted the pink to stay on the green. I didn't want it overlapping onto the Flirty Flamingo cardstock. Okay. Oh, that's looking nice. All right, now that we're happy, we go ahead and press. And so we need just one more little finishing touch. It's just those little things that make a card extra special. And I have the White Perfect accents. These are just really white. You know, I considered the pearls, but I like the look of these. They're not quite as formal as a pearl. Not that I don't love pearls, but then they are really white. And it's going to look really good with the white embossing powder. All right, slide that in. Let's get ourselves another one. Aha. I like the paper piercing tool. Instead of trying to, you know, with my fingers on something so small. Oh, look at it. Isn't that fantastic? Like I said, the finishing touch. Ah, that's what did it. It's just all of it came together for a sweet card with a reverse image stamp. Don't you love it? So if you haven't used a reverse image before, whenever you look at the stamp set, like the reverse words, look at whatever is dark. That's what's going to take the ink, like it did with ours, and whatever still, and this is white, the cardstock will be that color because it doesn't take the ink. Isn't that cool? A very fun stamp set, and you know, you can get that for free with your $50 product purchase, but you have to hurry and place it by March 31st, 2017. If you'd like to make my reverse words card too, all the supplies are listed under the video and available to order in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. But remember, the only way to get the reverse words stamp set is for free with your $50 product order placed by March 31st, 2017. And there's no limit to how many of the free Sale-a-bration items you can earn, but there's a limit to how long you have, and that's March 31st, 2017. So get on over now to my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.